Hello dear students. With less than a month left in the JEE Mains exam 2020, I know the stress is building up. You have been doing your best preparing for the exams. But there is another thing which is more important. That is the way to attempt the paper or the strategy to attempt the JEE Mains paper 2020. In this video, we are going to discuss how one must attempt the paper so as you can get the maximum output out of your preparation. This last remaining month, 1 month, can be utilized to adapt to that particular strategy which I am going to tell you in this particular video. Now moving on to the main part of the video, we will be discussing the strategy to solve the inorganic chemistry section of the JEE Mains exam 2020. We will be doing a detailed chapter-wise analysis because each chapter is different from the other. So it is very important to discuss it chapter-wise. So moving on to it, the first chapter that we are going to discuss is coordination compounds. It becomes tedious to solve the questions of coordination compounds, and mostly students are not able to solve the questions of this particular topic in the exam. In this chapter, there are basically two types of questions. The first ones are the bulky ones. By bulky ones, I mean all the four options might be different. You have to read all the four options. The four options might contain information regarding four different specific topics of the chapter. Generally, these questions are asked from the topic VBT, that is the valence bond theory, the CFT or the crystal field theory, or they are the mixed questions. The first question we are about to discuss is the question number 3. You will be able to see the questions in your inside video. This question number 3, it is regarding two particular complexes. Some information is given in the question. The thing which is important is the options. You can see all the four options have four statements. By four statements, you can see you have to go through each and every statement. Such questions may seem time consuming, but if you read them very carefully, believe me, they are not going to take more than over a minute to solve them. Students try to solve such questions in hassle. The result is they get negative score in such questions. So please be very careful solving such type of questions. Another particular example that we are going to discuss is the question number 17. You might be able to see it on your screen. This question number 17, see, lots of information is given in the question itself, but the options are very small. In such questions, you need to be extra careful because you have to process all the information that is given in the question one by one. For such question, your strategy might be to read them one information at a time, process it, then go for the second statement of the question. What students do is they just start reading the question, this and this and this and this and this and this. No, absolutely wrong strategy. You must not do this. For such questions, read one line at a time, understand it, process it, then move on to the next line. It would be much better. The second type of questions that we are going to discuss are the small ones. The small questions asked from the chapter coordination compounds are generally of two types. What are the two types? As you might be able to see on your screen, this question number 20, which is regarding homoleptic octahedral complexes. You can see the question is small, but still you have to process lots of information because these questions are generally very analytical types. Means you have to apply your brain, you have to think it thoroughly before you go for the options. Similarly, there is another question that is this question number 8, the total number of isomers. Let me tell you, the small type questions that are asked from the chapter coordination compounds, generally they are either based on isomerism, number of isomers, magnetic moment of complexes, or they can be mixed. But you must be sure you know how to solve them. The other category from the small type of questions are the simple ones. Those questions include especially coordination number. There are lots of questions asked in consequent years regarding the coordination number of complexes. In such questions, the common mistakes that student does is, for example, let me tell you in this question, this is question number 27. If you carefully analyze the complex given, you can see the formula of H2O that is given as a ligand here. It is written as OH2. You understand that? OH2. It could be easily written as H2O. Then why is the examiner writing it as OH2? Just to confuse you, so that you make silly mistakes. So remember, the small type questions of coordination compounds are easy comparatively, the second category one, or they are very analytical one. So avoid any type of silly mistakes. The next chapter is chemical bonding. In chemical bonding, one must understand the most important topic is molecular orbital theory or the structure of molecules. There are again those same two types of questions, the ones having the options with different statements or the others having small options but a lot of information is given in the question itself. For example, the first type of question that we are going to discuss, those are the ones that are based on molecular orbital theory. The common mistakes that you make in this is you forget that the order of energies of the orbitals change. It is not same for every type of species. I hope you understand the 14 electron rule. So be very careful for that, because you can expect one question of molecular orbital theory in JEE Main 2020. So here is the question number 21, which is based on molecular orbital theory and is regarding the diamagnetic molecules. Similarly, the next question, which is the diamagnetic characteristics and the shortest bond length. Again, the molecular orbital theory. Let me tell you, all these questions that we are discussing over here, they are from 2019 JEE Mains. The other type of questions that are asked, that is the structure based, as I said earlier. See, here is the question number 19. The ion that has sp3d2 hybridization. You can see this is a very simple question. No mistakes can be done apart from your calculation mistakes or the way you are solving it or the speed with which you are solving it. An easy question doesn't mean you have to just tick it. Do take your time to solve it, and there is always lots of time to solve the paper properly. So the last question of chemical bonding that we are going to discuss, it's again on the shape of the molecules or the structure of the molecules. See over here in this question number 10, the correct statement about. The correct statement about. Whenever you read any of such questions, the correct statement is, the incorrect statement is, which of the following is not correct, which of the following is not incorrect. Mark my words, do read these types of questions at least twice so you do not miss any in word written in front of correct. I hope you understand what I mean. Sometimes students miss this. The question is about which of the following is not incorrect. The not word is just missed because you are not careful reading the statement. So avoid such mistakes. Now the chapter metallurgy. Everyone knows the JEE Mains paper generally has one question from the chapter metallurgy, though there are some changes this time, but be assured there will be at least one question of the chapter metallurgy. The chapter metallurgy has two main topics, that is the first one, Illingham diagram. I hope you are familiar with it. The question regarding Illingham diagram Either it is a numerical, which are included this time in JEE mains, or it can be a diagram based or the particular Ingham diagram based question. Whenever you see any type of such question, read it very carefully, analyze the diagram properly, because such questions are asked just to test how good you are at analyzing any particular given graph. Okay, so be very careful with the graph type of questions. Also, there are some short type of questions which are generally based on the type of ores. You can see these questions over here in your inside video. Such questions are fact based. Mark my words, don't ever try to just tick any of the options if you are not 100% sure, because you are going to get negative marks for that. So the main topics for metallurgy are the ores, the particular reactions, because there are reaction based questions like this particular question which is over here. Which of the following does not represent the reaction in the calcination process? For these types of question, you have 4 different reactions in the 4 options. So be very careful while solving such type of questions. The chapters Pblock and hydrogen and its compounds are very closely related. Again, there are different types of questions that are asked in the JEE mains exam. Firstly, we will discuss about the fact-based questions. For example, let's discuss this question number 24. Magnesium powder burns in air. I hope you are able to see these questions. Similarly, there is the other one, the covalent alkaline earth metal halide. These are the Pblock questions, fact-based. The next one is the metal that gives hydrogen gas, question number 6, that is. And then it is question number 15, that is regarding temporary hardness of water. Please try to understand. These are facts. The facts which we try to explain on the basis of certain concepts. But what students do is they try to apply the concept and try to generate the fact out of it. Means you are doing it the reverse. That will result in a negative score. Please don't try to apply any of the concepts in these types of questions. Just simply understand. If you know this information, you take it. If you don't know it, don't try to deduce it on the basis of any concept. It will result in negative marking. The next category of questions in this Pblock and hydrogen and its compound chapters is this is the question number 24. See, in this question number 24, you can see all the different processes are asked and the compounds that are obtained from these processes. Again, it's a fact-based, knowledge-based, memory-based question. Then, the next category comes, the question number 6. See, this is a roadmap type of question. Generally, roadmap type of questions are frequent in organic chemistry, but there is at least one question every year or two which is based on particular reactions. There is a compound given X which undergoes a certain chemical change resulting in the formation of compound Y, which on treatment with certain compound or different according to the information given results in the formation of compound Z. See, these questions are rarely asked, but you must understand, to solve such kind of questions, you must be confident in the particular reaction that is involved. These questions are not to be handled lightly. The next one is from the chapter hydrogen, the question number 8. See, the correct statements among A to D are. As I said earlier, for the questions involving the correct statement, the incorrect statement, the not correct, the not incorrect statements, you need to be careful. Don't forget to read it twice. And last but not the least, see this question number 21. An organic compound A. it is treated with Na2O2, that is sodium peroxide, which is a compound formed by hydrogen peroxide. Reaction based question. This is a mixed type of question. It might involve reactions from different chapters. For example, this particular question, it uses the reaction involving in Pblock chapter. So this is an interrelated questions. These questions are very rare, but they are asked sometimes. So give proper attention to the reactions. Don't ever leave the reactions, or else if you are not confident about the chemical reactions, never attempt such kind of questions. Because it's better to leave a question than acquiring -1 mark in that question. I hope you understand the thing. So to sum up Pblock and hydrogen, the small questions, the factual based questions are generally asked from the anomalous properties of the group, that is for particular elements like lithium, beryllium. Apart from that, the process involved, that is Castner-Kellner process, the manufacturing of Na2CO3, NaOH, all these things. Then there is the last type of question that we discussed. They are reaction based, for which you have to learn each and every particular reaction involved, especially in the properties of certain compounds. For example, the properties of hydrogen peroxides. Now in hydrogen, in the chapter hydrogen, the questions which are generally asked are hardness of water or the chemical reactions of hydrogen peroxide. They are the extreme important topics in these two chapters. The chapters D and F block. Starting with the D block, as you can see, this is the question number 7, and the next one is the question number 25. Both of these questions are based on the variation of the periodic properties in the D block. The questions generally asked in D block on these particular variations are mostly based on metallic bonding, which involve certain exceptions. Do take care of the exceptions, especially in the D block, because the questions asked, they don't show a general variation in any property. There are the dips and the peaks. Do take care of the dips and the peaks in the graphs that are given in the NCERT, especially in enthalpy of atomization, metallic bonding. Only solve these questions if you have read NCERT fairly. Now the next one is the F block. As you can see, there is question number 23, which is based on the color. Any species having unpaired electron is generally colored, and the species not having any unpaired electron are generally not colored. But that is not the case. There is again exceptions. I hope you are familiar with the exception of cerium plus 4, Yb plus 2. Their compounds are generally yellow colored, and you must take care of those exceptions. The next one is the question number 6 and the question number 5. Both of these questions are based on the oxidation states. In question number 6, it is about the maximum number of possible oxidation states. The question number 5, it is about the highest possible oxidation states. So these are clearly to be crammed type of topics. If you have crammed these type of topics, only then solve these questions, or else leave them. Now last but not the least, the P block. Students often fear P block. I can understand that since the content in the chapter is huge. The number of concepts involved, there are too many as compared to all other chapters. Firstly, I would like to say, if you are not aiming for top 1 to 10 ranks, or you are not confident about Pblock, or you think you are not able to learn the reactions of the Pblock chapter especially, you can leave it, because the reaction based questions in Pblock is rarely asked, though it is asked sometimes. But to cover the chapter Pblock entirely, I would be uploading a separate video that you can watch. So stay connected, and I will give you a general idea about the questions that are involved in Pblock that are asked. Those questions are mostly about the colored compounds involved, especially their color, and I should say the blue color is a favorite of the examiner, so anything having a blue color is of extreme importance. Don't forget it. The oxides, the structure of the compounds of the Pblock, like the oxides of nitrogen, the structure of the oxy acids, and the oxidation states. These are the important topics of Pblock, and the rest will be covered in the separate video as I said. So stay connected. You must all be wondering that I have forgot to mention the chapter periodic table, but all of you know, you are quite confident about the chapter. The questions asked are very simple. They are generally based only on a single property. No bulky type of questions asked on the periodic table chapter. So that's it. So students, I hope you understood the strategy that I explained in a chapter wise manner that will be useful for you to attempt the JEE Mains 2020. If you will adapt to this particular strategy, I'm 100% sure you will get the maximum output out of your preparations. But do remember, don't stress too much, take your time, and the main thing that I wanted to convey is read the paper carefully. Do not attempt any type of question that you are not 100% sure. Take your time, read it carefully. That's it guys. So see you soon, stay connected, all the best.